Hi everybody, this is Dr. Dalton. Welcome to brand new semester, and I am really glad to have you all in class this semester. I'm looking forward to it. I love teaching, I love learning, I love helping, and I love seeing people grow and progress, and my job in this course actually allowed me to do that all the time. I know some of you are new to me, meaning that you've never had a class from me before, or we haven't had any kind of contact prior to this. And you may have heard some rumors that I am a pretty tough professor. Well, I'm here to tell you that all those wild and crazy rumors might have you sweaty palmed, heart beating, palpitations. They are all true. I cannot lie. I am a tough professor. I'm not a mean professor, but I am tough. I'm probably the softest professor too. I mean, I'm trained as a counselor. That's my trade and my training. I care about folks. I want to see them succeed through empowerment. I'm going to tell you like it is, how I see it. And I'm going to give you real, raw, to the point feedback. I'm not going to beat around the bush with it. It's not anything mean. It's just that I am fairly direct so that you are clear, and I'm clear on what the issue is. I believe, it's kind of my philosophy of teaching, I believe that if you don't know what you're doing is not working, or if it's not working as intended, or sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. It's a habit. It's unconscious. It's something you're not thinking of doing or not intentionally doing. If you don't know about it and you don't know what the impact or the results of that are, then there's nothing you can do about it. So I believe that direct feedback, discussion of solutions and possible, alternatives is the way to go, so that you can make some changes, you can make some improvements. We're all of us this semester, we're going to have a little bit of a learning curve in something. There's going to be something. So think of me as the GPS navigation device. You got off course, and I'm going to be giving you the GPS navigation device voice that says, recalculating route. and I won't be able to hear the sideways comments that you make sure your GPS navigation device. So that's all good. And believe me, I have a few choice words for my own GPS navigation device quite frequently. So everybody has a crazy life from time to time. You signed up for this particular portion of your class. You kind of voluntarily came into this grad school gig, and it's not always easy, and it doesn't always sync with the other parts of your life, your roles and your responsibilities. It can be a little difficult at times, and overwhelming sometimes even. I hold folks accountable to do what's required to pass this class, and not just to pass it, but to learn and be successful from this course. I don't accept late assignments or messed up assignments where you didn't follow the instructions, or past the due date, or missing them, anything like that, except in the case of a true emergency or a crisis situation. And that means that regardless of how much planning and preparation you put into the assignment or the task, something is outside of your control. Okay? And I can't say, okay, X, Y, and Z are the only examples of an emergency or crisis situation. The best thing for you to do is to talk to me about it as soon as you can after that thing occurs. you waiting until the very last minute to submit your assignment and then having your computer crash or having there be something wrong with the connectivity on the Sakai website is not an example of an emergency. It feels like an emergency to you, but that's not an emergency because you waited until the last minute. However, if you were in a car accident and you just got out of the emergency room and got home and it's 20 minutes after the deadline for an assignment, that's an emergency. You already prepared it, you had it ready, but something prevented you from doing it well in advance. So just talk to me. Let me know what's going on. I will work with you. I will talk to you. I will listen to you. And I will do my best to work with you to come up with a solution or a new plan of action. If you don't talk to me, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, and I surely can't help then. We're all going to have at least a moment or two over the next 2 or 3 years, or however long it takes you to complete your degree program. And I get it. Just talk to me. Let's make this work for you. Everybody's situation and life situation is different, so let's make this work for you. If you're willing to put into work, I'm willing to help you figure out a solution and navigate, the situation. Yeah, I'm looking at notes. So, what you guys can do to get started on a positive note is go to the course website, and obviously you're listening to this video, and you have access to the course website. Get started by clicking on, and actually reading the whole syllabus. Okay, the whole thing. And I know it's long. There's lots of things in there that we're required to put in there because it's a notification, and this is considered a contract. So this is saying, okay, you had this in the syllabus, you were informed it was in the syllabus, and you were expected to read it and acknowledge it and understand it. So if you have any questions about the syllabus, you'll let me know. A lot of people will print them out and keep them in a folder or a binder so that they can refer to it, away from the computer. So please do that. The next thing, check out the announcements. There might be something pertinent to you or your situation there. I do not spam my classes. I don't use the assignments for that. There's usually something that's fairly important, or a last minute change in something for whatever reason, important announcements to the course, announcements about the class or the program or the school. Sometimes there are some opportunities for students to be involved in things like some research, we have a research week here where our students can submit to participate. Sometimes there are essay contests. Sometimes there are opportunities for our students to participate in conferences with organizations such as national organizations and regional and local organizations. And I want you to be aware of these things that I would like for you to participate as best as you can. So sometimes there will be announcements about that. Just check your announcements. There won't be a lot, but sometimes there's 2 or 3 just sitting there waiting for you to check. Okay, the next thing you need to do, go to course content. You're doing that already because you're watching this video. So some of this may seem kind of silly for me to mention, but that's the other place to go. And that's going to be the probably one of the most frequently used tabs over there on your left-hand side. Course content is where you'll find a tab on the page when you click on that. This is week 1. There'll be a topic title, week 2, week 3, and so on and so forth. And you're not going to see all of them at once. They're going to be released mostly on Fridays Sometimes I will release more than one, just to allow you to kind of get ahead with some of the materials, some of the supplemental materials. Your textbook readings are outlined in the course schedule on your syllabus. I use the sections on course content each week in a manner to allow you to know what's going on. What I do is I give you pieces of information like your supplemental readings, some articles, websites, or things like that. And most of the time they are required, so you are required to access that information. I will include some thoughts and guidance from myself on the topic. There will be some activity and assignment reminders for example, an assignment that's opening up that week or an assignment that's due that week. But I also have for at least maybe 1 or 2 weeks ahead, I remind you that, okay, next week this is going to be due, or you'll start working on this assignment, or so on and so forth. I give you those little reminders. This helps me keep on track of the stuff as well. Over there on the left hand menu, again, that big list of all those things, you're going to see a button that says Assignment Prep. Assignment Prep. That is unique to me as a faculty member here. I don't know that anybody else uses this. But I know some people have a hard time adjusting to this, but it really is done to be efficient and clear. I have all of the assignments for the course listed, and all of the information that you will need to complete that assignment or that activity or that task in Assignment Prep. I also have some resources and materials that will assist you in completing tasks, such as some writing resources, some research resources, such as how to use the library and that kind of thing. So this is a very important part of the course. Next, you're going to want to go check out the forums, the discussion boards. And I really think it's important that we try to use some consistent terminology. Sometimes it's hard for me too, but the consistent terminology so that we all are clear on the message that we're giving or receiving. The forums have topics, and the topics have conversations, and the conversations have replies. Okay, make yourself familiar with all the forums. That's where we're going to do most of our communication with one another. And there's a topic thread when you can ask me questions directly, and it's public. Ask Dr. D, and most of the professors have a little thread like this, topic thread like this, in their forums. It's just a really easy place that you can go and ask a question, pose a comment, give a heads up about something, whatever. And if you're okay with whatever question that you have being public, it can be very helpful to the rest of the class. I do suggest that you all check this regularly, because there may be something going on that you weren't aware of, or something that had been going on with you and you thought it was you, but it was like a computer, it was actually the program glitch or something like that. Some people could say, hey, I had trouble doing this and I found out it was this little fix that I needed, and it may apply to you. So that's a good place to check in frequently, even if you do not have a question or a comment. I have sections in our forums where you can be casual and social, a little bit more laid back. But then I have sections where more professional. They are specific to the tasks and the activities and the assignments of the class. Be sure, again, that you make yourself familiar with the structure. One of the things that I allow within the forums and the replies, the responses, the posts, is that I allow all students to be able to edit their own post, replies, comments. For whatever reason you need to change it, you got something wrong, you put it in the wrong place, you can't delete it, but you can go in there and change it. Like if you put it in the wrong place, you can go in there and take it all out and say, oops, posted in the wrong place, I'm posting it in the right place now, and enter and save again. Just kind of redirect somebody. This keeps us from having a really cluttered up message board where people get confused as to who's talking about what. You can go in there and right up under your post title, you got a lot of little icons. Look for the word edit. You click on that, and then after you edit it, change it however you need to do it, you click on save, and that will post it right back to the same place, but it will show that you edited it. It really is a really helpful tool to have. Make yourself familiar with other sections of the course, the calendar, the messages, the grade book, the assignments, etc. Let me know if you have any questions about the website, where things are, because again, like I said, there's a learning curve for everybody. Some people are very used to it, very familiar with it, and other people are just completely baffled and confused, and that's fine. Everybody's been there at one point or another. So anyway, that's about it for the welcome and the orientation bit for me, and I really hope that you guys will be in contact with me directly, one-on-one. I love meeting my students. I like to try to have these little video web conferences with students who are far away, one-on-one, kind of get to know each other, and it's that other layer of communication. It's really nice, and it gives us a little bit deeper rapport. And you know what I mean. You're developing a relationship with someone that you're working with. If you are ever in the Lubbock area, passing through, coming here for something, maybe you live in the area, close enough, and you're here in Lubbock, come and see me sometime. We love to meet our students. So holler if you're ever in the LBK. We'd love to see you. Thank you guys, and y'all have a good semester.